The Pittsburgh Steelers just got hit with a bombshell nobody saw coming. T.J. Watt dropped a surprise that's rocking the entire organization. What should have been normal contract talks has turned into an all-out war. This isn't just about money anymore. It's personal. CBS Sports Aditi Kinkhabwala dropped the bombshell report on 93.7 The Fan that exposed the ugly reality of these negotiations. The details are stunning. T.J. Watt was openly told, "You're fortunate to be a Steeler," Kinkhabwala reported. And his response was, "You're fortunate to have me." This wasn't just contract posturing. This was a direct confrontation between two sides with completely different philosophies about player value and organizational prestige. Kinkhabwala continued her revelation. The Steelers' attitude, the Steelers' mindset, is that it is such a privilege to be in this uniform, to wear this uniform, that therefore you should take a hometown discount just because you get to play for one of these cornerstone trademark organizations. The bombshell here isn't just what was said, it's what this exchange reveals about the fundamental disconnect between the franchise and their superstar defender. The financial numbers behind this standoff are staggering. Watt isn't just asking for a raise, he's demanding to make history. Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette revealed on The Rich Eisen Show the scope of Watt's demands.
With T.J. Watt, the stalemate is going to be that T.J. Watt, wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. And the Steelers are looking at it that he's age 31. In order to accommodate any kind of large contract, it can't be a 3-year deal. It has to be a 5-year deal because you need to spread the money out in terms of the guarantee and the signing bonus over 5 years, not 3. And now you're looking at T.J. Watt being age 36.
That means Watt is seeking a deal worth over $40 million annually. The current record holder is Myles Garrett at exactly $40 million per year. The Steelers, meanwhile, are hoping to stay closer to the Max Crosby range of $35.5 million. The gap between these positions represents a massive $4.5 million annual difference. What if the Steelers offer $38 million per year? That would still leave Watt walking away from $2.1 million per week based on 18 checks per season. Would he really hold out into the regular season over that amount? The answer might shock you. Based on the heated exchange, Watt appears prepared to dig in completely. The Steelers face another crushing reality. The market is about to get even more expensive. Micah Parsons of the Dallas Cowboys is entering contract negotiations. His deal will undoubtedly match or exceed Garrett's $40 million figure, perhaps significantly. Shouldn't Watt wait to see what Parsons gets? The Parsons contract will only drive the current market higher, making Watt's case for more than Pittsburgh's best offer even stronger. The Steelers hope to regard the Garrett contract as another Cleveland Albatross contract, similar to the Deshaun Watson deal. But that strategy ignores the reality of the pass rush market. The timing of this confrontation couldn't be worse for Pittsburgh. The Steelers have gone all in for 2025. Aaron Rodgers is their starting quarterback in what will be his final NFL season. The offense has replaced George Pickens with DK Metcalf. The defense acquired Jalen Ramsey through a blockbuster trade.
The Dolphins are trading Jalen Ramsey to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Miami Dolphins are getting Minkah Fitzpatrick. This is a player-for-player swap. We rarely see this in the NFL.
Ramsey traded Minkah Fitzpatrick along with a 2027 fifth-round pick to the Miami Dolphins in exchange for Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, and a 2027 seventh-round pick. This is Super Bowl or bust in the Steel City. The Steelers are doing everything possible to hoist a Vince Lombardi trophy. Watt holds considerable leverage in these negotiations. The statistics paint a clear picture of his value. The Steelers are 1-11 when Watt misses games due to injury. Not having Watt would offset everything else they've done to reach the playoffs and win a postseason game for the first time in Watt's career. The Steelers haven't won a playoff game since 2016. They consistently beat weaker opponents, but struggle against top-tier teams. Watt's credentials are undeniable. He has been named to 7 Pro Bowls and earned first-team All-Pro honors 4 times in the past 5 seasons before being named second-team All-Pro last year. Former Pro Bowl linebacker LeVar Arrington addressed the situation on the Two Pros and a Cup of Joe podcast with a stark assessment.
And given a $1.5 million raise to bring his salary to $26 and change this year, and Jonnu Smith's salary goes from $4 million to $12 million. Some were saying might not sit well with T.J. Watt, who's looking for his. What can you tell us about this situation, Jerry?
Well, Rich, what I can tell you is that these moves have, and I've been told, have nothing to do with any negotiations with T.J. Watt. The stalemate is going to be that T.J. Watt, wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback in
the Steelers and Watt have been through this before. The last contract negotiation lasted deep into training camp and the preseason. Watt employed a holding-in strategy, attending camp but not practicing until the deal was completed. It worked. He secured a record $28 million per year in new money average. This time feels different. The Steelers seem to believe that when their best number is put on the table, Watt will accept it. Bill Cowher, the former Steelers head coach, offered his perspective on CBS Sports' The Dan Patrick Show. You can't take it personally. It's that time of year. There's no real deadline at this point. He's gone through this before. We saw him almost hold up right till the first game and still have a stellar year. This is, unfortunately, the part of it that you just have to be patient. And I think the one thing that Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan and Art Rooney have done, they've exhibited great patience. They did that with Aaron Rodgers to see where he's at right now. I think the same approach is going to be taken with T.J. Watt. The Steelers made a significant announcement on Thursday, July 3rd. They signed general manager Omar Khan to a 3-year contract extension. Khan has been in charge of the Steelers front office since 2022. He has worked with head coach Mike Tomlin to keep Pittsburgh in perennial playoff contention. I am excited to announce we have signed Omar to a new 3-year contract, said Steelers president Art Rooney II. Omar and his team have done a great job over the past 3 years in constructing our roster through the NFL draft, strategic trades, and free agency. We look forward to continuing that trend that will lead to even more success on the field. The extension locks Khan in through at least the 2028 NFL season. Khan, 48, is the son of immigrants and a native of New Orleans. He is in his 25th year with the Steelers. Steelers fans are not happy with the priorities. The urgency among the fan base is palpable across social media. One supporter posted, okay, hear me out. Extend T.J. Watt next. This sentiment reflects what many see as Watt being the heart of the Steelers' identity since Ben Roethlisberger's departure. Others expressed frustration that the front office prioritized extending Khan before addressing Watt's contract situation. Fans are hopeful that locking up Watt for the long term would make this a truly successful offseason. One supporter summed it up, extend T.J., bring a safety, Simmons, and you'll have won the offseason. Not all reactions to the Khan extension were positive. Some fans questioned the move, pointing out that head coach Mike Tomlin has significant influence over roster decisions. One comment read, "Why? You already have Mike Tomlin making all of Khan's decisions for you." This highlights the perception that Tomlin's role in shaping the team may go beyond traditional head coach boundaries. Multiple teams are positioning themselves for a potential Watt acquisition. The Washington Commanders are eyeing a Super Bowl push in 2025. The Commanders face defensive challenges after losing their top sack leader Dante Fowler Jr. General manager Adam Peters has not effectively filled this void. With quarterback Jaden Daniels emerging as a star, the Commanders are looking to strengthen their defense by pursuing Watt amid his ongoing contract issues. Analysts suggest a trade package could include a 2026 first-round pick plus 2 additional picks from 2027. The Commanders have financial flexibility due to Jaden Daniels' rookie contract. The Philadelphia Eagles' rumors refuse to die. USA Today's Jacob Kamenker included the Eagles in his recent theory about possible landing spots for Watt. Kamenker wrote, "Could Watt stay in Pennsylvania even if he and the Steelers can't reach an agreement? Howie Roseman has never been afraid to make aggressive trades, has $30.8 million in cap space available, and could use another playmaker on the edge." The Eagles lost several edge rushers during the offseason. Josh Sweat signed with the Arizona Cardinals in free agency. Bryce Huff was traded to the San Francisco 49ers, and Brandon Graham retired. Philadelphia still has young talent in Nolan Smith Jr. and Jalix Hunt, but adding a proven veteran like Watt would help keep their Super Bowl window open. The Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Los Angeles Rams were also named as potential destinations.
The Dolphins are trading Jalen Ramsey to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Miami Dolphins are getting Minkah Fitzpatrick. This is a player-for-player swap. We rarely see this in the NFL.
Ramsey has delivered the most explosive public revelation in NFL history, systematically destroying the Miami Dolphins organization while simultaneously creating unprecedented shockwaves throughout the football world that fundamentally challenge team loyalty expectations and redefine how elite players communicate their dissatisfaction with franchise management. This stunning announcement represents far more than simple trade confirmation. It exposes deep-rooted organizational dysfunction and creates systematic questions about Miami's ability to retain elite talent while building championship-caliber teams. Despite the NBA's free agency period starting off with a whirlwind of activity, it appears as if the NFL still managed to dominate the trade-related headlines as Ramsey's shocking announcement has overshadowed all other professional sports news. The Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers agreed to a trade that will see both the star DB, Jalen Ramsey, and breakout tight end, Jonnu Smith, travel to Pittsburgh in exchange for the Steelers' three-time All-Pro safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, creating the most consequential defensive back trade in recent NFL history. Ramsey confirmed the deal himself on X, writing, "Break my own news. So here we go at Steelers, delivering perhaps the most devastating public dismissal of his former organization ever witnessed in professional sports." This social media announcement represents unprecedented disrespect for traditional trade announcement protocols while simultaneously creating maximum embarrassment for Dolphins management who lost control of their own narrative. The move is just the latest in what has been a surprisingly active offseason for Pittsburgh, demonstrating how the Steelers have abandoned their conservative approach to roster construction in favor of aggressive talent acquisition that prioritizes immediate championship contention over long-term financial planning. This systematic transformation has created industry-wide shock as one of the NFL's most traditional franchises embraces unprecedented risk-taking strategies. Pro Football Talk's founder, Mike Florio, expressed complete bewilderment at Pittsburgh's organizational transformation, asking, "What the hell happened to the Steelers? They've undergone some sort of organic personality change this year. Who is this team wearing black and gold? They are acting like they have never acted before, and I mean never," highlighting how Ramsey's acquisition represents fundamental departure from established franchise philosophy. "I know how the Steelers operate. They don't operate the way they operated this year. They don't do that," Florio continued, demonstrating how Ramsey's arrival symbolizes systematic abandonment of the conservative approach that defined Pittsburgh's organizational identity for decades. This philosophical transformation creates questions about sustainability and long-term competitive viability that extend far beyond individual player acquisitions. Ever since the decline of Ben Roethlisberger, the Steelers have been hard-pressed for any kind of playoff success, creating desperation that has forced organizational leaders to abandon traditional approaches in favor of aggressive strategies that prioritize immediate results over sustainable development.
Breaking news today, a blockbuster trade. Adam Schefter reporting that the Dolphins are dealing three-time All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith to the Steelers for fellow three-time All-Pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick. The teams also swap lower-round draft picks. Ramsey gets a small raise to $26.6 million for next season.
Nearly a decade has passed since the team won its last postseason contest in 2016, establishing timeline pressure that justifies unprecedented risk-taking and financial commitment. According to Florio, that drought has created a sense of desperation that Pittsburgh has never exhibited before, forcing systematic changes that contradict decades of established organizational behavior. They don't pay market value to a stranger to the organization like they did to DK Metcalf. They don't wait some more for an aging quarterback to come and save the day, demonstrating how championship pressure creates fundamental organizational transformation. They don't make a trade for Jalen Ramsey, who's been passed around the NFL. It's a short-term thing. They don't want to keep Ramsey around for 5 years. They want to get the most out of him this year, Florio explained, exposing how Pittsburgh views Ramsey as immediate solution rather than long-term building block. This is a team that is desperate to win a playoff game, creating systematic pressure that influences every roster decision. In light of the Steelers seemingly going all in on the 2025 season, Florio raises fundamental questions about organizational planning and risk management. When the Hail Mary pass isn't caught, what's your plan? This query exposes the dangerous nature of Pittsburgh's all-in approach that could trigger systematic roster destruction if championship expectations aren't achieved immediately. The 30-year-old Ramsay, who signed a 3-year extension in 2024, brings immediate elite performance capabilities that justify Pittsburgh's aggressive pursuit despite his previous organizational conflicts. He started all 17 games for Miami last season with 60 tackles, 11 passes defensed, and 2 interceptions, demonstrating sustained excellence that validates his trade value and championship contribution potential. As part of the move, the Steelers are giving him a $1.5 million raise in 2025, increasing his salary to $26.6 million, demonstrating financial commitment that exceeds normal trade parameters and creates additional pressure for immediate performance returns. This salary increase represents unprecedented generosity that suggests Pittsburgh's desperation to secure elite talent regardless of financial consequences. Ramsay, a 7-time Pro Bowler, previously played for the Jaguars and Rams, establishing a pattern of organizational movement that raises questions about his long-term commitment and locker room impact. His track record suggests potential for future conflicts if championship expectations aren't immediately fulfilled, creating systematic risk for Pittsburgh's organizational culture. Ramsay was concerned about guarantees remaining in his existing contract. He did not attend Miami's mandatory minicamp earlier this month while the team attempted to secure a trade partner, exposing the systematic breakdown in relationships that forced Miami to accommodate his demands rather than enforce contractual obligations. This capitulation demonstrates organizational weakness that Ramsay exploited to force his preferred destination. Dolphins general manager Chris Greer said prior to the 2025 NFL Draft that Ramsay didn't request a trade, but they came to the joint realization that a potential move made sense following several conversations about his contract, providing diplomatic cover for what appears to be systematic organizational failure to satisfy elite player expectations and maintain championship culture. Miami paid a total of $7 million of Ramsay's 2025 salary, demonstrating how badly they wanted to eliminate his presence from their organization while simultaneously subsidizing his success with a division rival. This financial concession represents unprecedented organizational humiliation that validates Ramsay's assessment of Miami's competitive inadequacy.